He was born in the US, but he's a real British, and he was born again in Brazil. He's a human being like, well, almost like you and me, but he's half a python and 12 times a monkey, and yet a sacred animal with many talents and a unique sense of humor. This is more than an honor to have with us the inimitable Terry Gilliam.
Hello. How
Hello,
are you?
Terry. Thanks a lot for being
Thank you.
here in Annecy and here with us.
No, I'm delighted to be in a room with a beautiful bit of artwork behind me and a woman with a singing armpit. Look at her armpit is singing. It's beautiful.
It's
Who can do that? I can't. I can make noises, but I can't sing.
and she can maybe.
Okay. It's just
You were commenting the bath suit. What's your comment about the bath suit?
the bathing suit.
The bathing
I just
suit.
didn't think it wasn't very feminine. It looked more like she was covering up some secret parts that need to be public.
Oh, there's always secret parts, especially in animation.
It might be a birthmark down here that she doesn't like. It may be a rib that sticks out that you want to keep covered. You know, it could be anything. It could be a spider, a tarantula crawling across her.
And swimming with her?
Well, that's it. I mean, and that's very rough for a tarantula, to drag a tarantula into the water with the woman singing from her armpit. That is just the part that intrigues me. I don't think I think it's hurting her singing from her armpit. That's the problem. But it's very important to come to a festival like this. Wonderful things happen here. There are surprises all the time.
Your first time here was in 1975 for a short.
It must have been the early years of Monty Python, and so 30, 40 years ago. Mm-hmm. I was young, the town was empty. It wasn't full of tourists like it is today. I mean, it was really lovely. That's one of the reasons I wanted to come back, and I had very pleasant memories of being here.
If you had to draw, because you were a drawing person at the very first, if you had to draw the poster for Annecy's festival, what would it be?
I don't know, because the only drawing I do these days is birthday cards for my family. So maybe when Annecy has another birthday party, I could draw something, but I don't know what it'll be. It depends on what is happening in the world around my grandchildren and children when I do a birthday card. So who knows what Annecy will be like in a year or so.
We'll wait and see.
We will wait. I'm ready.
If we go back in time a little, let's play the time bandits traveling. How did a monosyllabic Minnesota farmboy got accepted by the British members of the Pythons? How did you do that trick?
Well, I did it by doing something that none of them could do, which was animate and draw. They were very good with words, and they were very good performers, but they couldn't do what I did. And so they accepted me. And then once I got in, there was no way they could get me out.
So this is animation that made you a Python?
In a sense, yeah, because I didn't study animation. I did the first animation for a program that was on television before Monty Python, and they had all this material of a particular disc jockey on radio who had these ridiculous puns connecting the songs, and they didn't know how to present all of this material. So I said, let me make an animated film. And they did. And I had 2 weeks, and I think hardly any money. So the only thing I could do in that time was start cutting things out and moving them around. And nobody had seen that on British television. So I became a famous animator overnight. And that led to Python, basically.
You were saying in a presentation, the technique itself doesn't really matter. whatever works is a thing to use.
Yeah.
And then, tell me, Terry, where do you get your cutouts? Do you remember this?
Well, it's easier when it's your own voice doing the work. The trick is to hold your head still while your mouth moves up and down.
I have to learn with you. Speaking of learning, you are about to teach a lesson of cinema for Annecy's Festival. What are you going to teach us?
Well, I came here hoping to find out how to direct a film. I think there's a lot of people in the audience. Only yesterday I met an animator who is here who was nominated for an Academy Award. I've never been nominated for anything like that, so hopefully he will tell me how to direct movies.
But what are you going to transmit in this moment?
Lies. I'm going to transmit lies. I will say all sorts of things, and people then waste their lives trying to emulate what I've told them to do. So it's a way of stopping the competition. I don't want young people coming up and doing my job better than I can do it, so I'm trying to stop them at a young age.
Well, it's like you have the script I wrote. Who gave it to you? If a child says, when I grow up, I want to be a Terry Gilliam, what would you answer to this child?
Wait till I'm dead.
Please.
No, I don't know. I just think I've been incredibly lucky is all I can say. I've had a very nice life, and I've always done just what I want to do. I've always said no to all these jobs that led other directors into big successes. I don't know how to do that. I only know when an idea comes to me, I have got to find a way of getting it out of my system, that's all. It's a way that I survive.
One of your first productions was on a 16 millimeters camera you bought, and the legend says that you never finished this short. Is it true?
No, it's true. I mean, I love the idea of cinema. I didn't know how to get into cinema, but I was living with two other guys. One was a writer, the other was a cartoonist like me, and I saved enough money to buy a Bolex 16 millimeter camera. And we would each Sunday go out and shoot a short film. The three of us would, what's the weather like? It's snowing today. Okay, now we'll do a film about people in the snow, and we will have people lying down in tracks which we could draw in the snow, like a train track. And then I got a girl who would lie across it, and we could then animate a train coming down these tracks about to run her over, except the hero would arrive in time. And they're silly films, but it was the only way I've learned to make movies is by doing it. I don't know theory. I watch movies, so I take all that in, but then I have to just do and see if it works. And if it doesn't work, I try another way and do that until that doesn't work. It saved me a lot of money in schooling. I don't have to pay to be schooled. I can just waste my time.
Would you say, especially with your background and way of step by step being here in Annecy's Festival, would you say that animation is a solution to our world's limitation?
I think animation is kind of like puppetry. It's the same thing. It's an abstract form of the world. And you can say and do a lot more things in this abstract world than working within a realistic version of the world. It's like theater. It's like South Park says some things that you could not say in a real film. You couldn't say it, but these pieces of paper making funny little voices can do it and get away with it. It's like, and I loved animation because like a Chuck Jones animation, or the Roadrunners say. Roadrunner is always crashing to the ground. Tom and Jerry is always smashing. It's violent, but nobody gets really hurt because they all pop back. And I love that. And possibly why I don't like Marvel comics, everybody gets splat and people begin to think it's possible to do that in real life. And you can't. All you can do in real life is go a bit crazy and go to school and kill all your fellow students. That is what happens. I mean, there's That's why I don't really have ever in my films violence. My cartoons were violent. The big foot would squash. But that's an abstract idea as opposed to when you do a realistic film and say, yeah, this is cool. I can't do that.
That's the difference between the Greek and the Roman civilization, to play the violence or to have it.
Exactly.
So let's play with it.
Exactly. And it's good to play with because it's cathartic on one way. It gets a lot of your demons out without hurting anybody. That's what it's good. It's healthy.
That's what you sum up when you say, let's get away with it.
Yeah,
And
that's
let's
exactly.
not get caught in something real.
I mean, even like in Monty Python and the Holy Grail, I got caught in a scene of animation I was doing, and I didn't know how to solve the problem, so I killed myself. I mean, you can do those things when you're in an abstract world, and that's why I've been sent scripts in the past that were very violent. In fact, the film was finally made by Quentin Tarantino, and he pulled it off, but I couldn't do it because I just don't believe in real world violence. I do not believe it.
Talking about real world and abstraction, in your film, there's a lot of, the technology is defying us. How, and well, not how, but have you tried the last technology everyone is talking about, everyone is so afraid of?
AI?
Yes. Is there...
I'm not frightened of it. It's just, what I am frightened about is my computer is my boss now. The technology, I work for the technology almost, is what it feels like. James Cameron was correct that the machines are taking over. And they have them. I mean, if I lose my iPhone, I'm desperate because it's like a huge chunk of my mind, my history, my friends are all disappeared. And so I have to go and bow down to my iPhone later, worship it, genuflect.
There's a huge lack of sense of humor in those technologies, don't you think?
No, I don't think so. I mean, like with the chatbot AI stuff, it makes words, sentences that look kind of like real. They make a kind of sense, but they're not inventive. They're boring. They're just dull. and humor to me is, I think it's our most important sense. We've got 5 senses, taste, we got a 6th sense, but our 7th sense is the most important one, and that's humor. Because humor allows you, it has the freedom to look anywhere in life and find humor in it, because we are an absurd society of people. I think we're a badly built animal even. We were given this huge brain that has such power, and it's able to invent the most mad things ever. And most animals can't do that. And we've got a brain that we have to start controlling, even just to live. And then when that brain is being used to build more machinery that's more out of control, I get worried.
You were talking about boredom. Is animation coupled with our brain, the last resort against today's world boredomness?
Well, I don't know. Today's world is thing you've got to keep making humorous, because today's world, the real purple, all the people making the most noise in today's world want to remove humor. They do not want humor because they don't want anybody laughed at. We have to laugh at ourselves because we are ridiculous, really. And the more we can find the humor in it, it more relaxes us. I've gotten canceled a few times because of things I say. I'm not attacking any individual. I'm talking an idea of a way of thinking is what I'm talking about. And that's what Python did. I mean, when you look back to Life of Brian, Stan, why do you want to be a woman? Because I want to have babies. Where are you going to keep the fetus? In a cardboard box. On we go. We are here. And that was 30 years ago. Python was way ahead of the world that's here. But we made it humorous and more livable in.
And we couldn't have fun with it today.
No.
It would be forbidden and sanctioned.
Exactly. And that is what worries me. it worries me about the way, since we're next to Switzerland, I refer to the activists as neo-Calvinists. Calvin was his world was like that. And it's either you're in heaven or you're going to hell. If you don't agree with me, you go to hell. And that's what most of the activists behave like. There's only one way to look at the world. I think there's a million ways to look at the world. And some are funny, some are horrific, some are boring. There are all sorts of things. But you've got to keep that open and the discussion or argument flowing. Otherwise, we just collapse into our individual selves. I know my world is I'm the center of the universe. Okay. And I've decided my pronoun will be me. I want everybody to use only one pronoun when they refer to me. So me is thinking, me feels about me, yeah. So it'll always just be about me. And I think that's really what's happening in many ways with identity politics. It's all about that individual, but the world doesn't revolve around the individual. The individuals have to be part of this great flowing of knowledge and ideas and thoughts and dreams. And we all have to take part in it and enjoy it. The waves will come and drown us occasionally, and then we hopefully can swim like this one up with a singing armpit and say, "Oh, oh."
So we can definitely say that humor is the barometer of a society's health.
Well, there's a lot of people that think I belong there. I don't know. Laughter is the most wonderful thing that God ever invented for us, because it keeps you young. It's the healthiest thing that can ever happen. Smiling is healthy. It's all been proven by doctors. It's not just me talking. It's humor, smile, laughter. These are the most healthy things in life.
So why are they trying to wipe it off the world?
Because they're miserable people who are trying to destroy the rest of us. They are the demonic force that are trying to crush the beautiful world of comedy.
So there would be two species in our species.
What?
There are two species in our species: the miserable and humorless people, and those who want to stay young and have laughter till the end.
Correct. Yes, and I know which side I'm on.
I think we are on the same side. Well, at least today. I'm sorry, but we are going to do a little flashback. You have been working with René Goscinny when you were in for pilots.
Yeah, pilot. Yeah.
Can you tell us more about this amazing encounter? It
began in New York when I was working with Harvey Kurtzman, the god of Mad Magazine. It was Mad Magazine he created. He was, from my generation, Harvey Kurtzman and the people that worked with him were the gods of comedy, the gods of cartooning, and I became his assistant on a magazine called Help. And people from all over America came. Robert Crumb is when I got to know Bob Crumb and Gilbert Shelton. All these people all came to New York, and also René Goscinny from Paris in Pilote, and they all came to talk to Harvey. And so I met René then. And then, I don't know, 6 months later, I left New York and hitchhiked around Europe for almost 6 months. And it was wonderful. But all my money was gone by the time I returned from Istanbul to Paris. And so I went to René, because he was doing Pilote then. I said, René, I have no money. Can you help me get back to America? And he said, okay, I give you 2 pages in Pilote. You have to do jokes about snowmen. And it was in the middle of the winter. And I was staying in this 8-franc hotel on the left bank. It was like an artist's garret, and it was freezing. And I was sitting freezing to death, drawing jokes about of snowmen. And René gave me enough money to buy a ticket back to America. So that was it. I mean, René was a beautiful man. He was just, and Asterix and Obelix is beautiful work. It's just fantastic.
I'm sorry, I'm a bit stunned by this meeting, so my questions are a bit stopped right now. But no, I think there's a lot of poetry in the way you came back to America, drawing snowmen to cross the ocean, and we know snowmen doesn't cross ocean.
They don't, except for the one on the Titanic iceberg. I think I didn't actually do an iceberg snowman with the Titanic heading towards it and he's saying, "Come on." I didn't do that.
You definitely are a tickler, an animator, someone who reveals and wake up the sparkle of life and the sparkle of fun more than the rest. Right before this interview, you had to animate some still matter, some clay. How did it go?
Well, I didn't make a very good atom. I squished the clay together and it just never came out. I couldn't get the head right. And so we just squashed it. So I've saved humanity from a new atom.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
And you were talking about the ribs. And now Adam, so this is a whole creation set, actually.
Well, the problem is I'm working on a new film which has a new Adam and Eve for the world.
Oh, I think I've heard of it. Isn't it God who is really mad at us?
God has decided humanity has ruined his beautiful garden, the earth. And so he says, basta, I'm getting rid of them. And there's only one character who's trying to save humanity, Satan. Because without humans, he's out of a job. And he lives for eternity. To be out of work for an eternity is too much, even for Satan. So he finds two young people and thinks they might make a good Adam and Eve and has to convince God this can be the future. God still wipes out all of humanity, but he starts again, maybe. I don't want to give the ending away yet.
And when should we expect this new creation?
I would like it to be, at the moment, we're trying to start shooting in January.
Okay.
So we shall see.
Will there be animation in the techniques?
Yeah. And it's one reason I came to the festival, because I thought I might meet some good animators that could do the kind of stuff I want. And I don't want it to look like Terry Gilliam's animation from Monty Python.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Will it be full animated or live action and animation?
No, I need a bit of stop motion, a bit of digital. I need a bit of everything. It's a mixture. And so I've met a couple of really good people.
Okay, so we might see you next year for a work in progress on this film?
Well, I should come back and thank the festival for saving my film. Yes, if it happens,
but
I will.
We have to thank you for saving us for not creating a new Adam. Well, not yet, at least.
So there's so many people I've got to save now. I've got to thank everybody. Back to the smiles.
Back to the smiles. Thank you very much, Terry. And
thank you.
We really hope that you will connect to everything you need this year to come back, all the years to come. And
if I'm not back next year, it's probably because I'm dead. So that's okay.
Well, you said that was the most interesting topic ever. So
I could probably, it's the best way to promote a film.
No, let's try.
A freshly dead director is a great way to promote a film.
Well, let's have a promotion team work on it, and let's keep you with us.
Thank you.